State regime media, which calls itself Fox, losing all control as Donald Trump has zero plan as he and MAGA Republicans continue to crash and crash hard before the midterms. So state regime media trying just to throw mud against the wall and just see what sticks at this point. I mean, the propaganda that they are spewing is at a level of beyond nuts. It's hard to believe that there's actually an audience for this, but I want to show you the propaganda tactics so we can dissect what they're pumping in the veins of this brainwashed audience. But then I also want to show you what went down when the Democratic Senate candidate from Michigan, Abdul Al-Sayed, went on the Jesse Waters show, and he pushed back hard, and Jesse Waters was caught flat-footed when the same talking points that are being used by Fox when they don't have someone like a renowned doctor in Abdul El-Sayed, they're actually talking about what the people want. It's an incredible juxtaposition. So let me show you first the type of things that Jesse Waters was saying earlier in the day, talking about, oh, we need to focus on Toronto WNBA's non-binary turtle mascot, everybody. Here, play this clip.
Had the definition of a woman on it. And while the league debates guys and women's sports, Toronto's WNBA team just revealed their new non-binary turtle mascot. Yes, I said that. Dez is a blue snapping turtle who uses she, they pronouns and has a fondness for soft-shell tacos.
Or then state regime media Fox, they had on the MAGA Republican Congress member Doug Collins, who's like, and now, after IndyCar, we need NASCAR in Washington, D.C., because that's what the American people are asking for. Yeah, we're ripping away your health care. Yeah, gas and diesel's at an all-time high. Yeah, we're screwing over our ranchers by bringing in mystery foreign frozen beef, undercutting our own ranchers by 25%. Yeah, we're screwing you over, but NASCAR, everybody, you want to see what the VIP box looks like next year with Donald Trump, Natalie Harper, and Melania, and a good old NASCAR race, everybody, right? That's what we're going to do if you elect Republicans. Watch how deranged this is. Here, play this clip.
Hey, NASCAR, call Sean Duffy.
There's been a lot of talk, Mr. Secretary, that the Freedom 250 Grand Prix is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Do you think it is?
Oh, no, I think it should be every year, but I got one to add to it. I'm an old Southern boy. I'm a NASCAR boy. It's time to bring NASCAR to D.C. I've already tweeted about it. I'm going to stay
NASCAR. Now,
NASCAR to D.C.
Can those cars handle these tight turns here in Washington?
NASCAR can handle anything. We need NASCAR in D.C. as well, along with the Indy cars, two American sports. Put them right here.
More from state regime media, which calls itself Fox. They've been pushing this deranged story of this old NBA player, Cantor Freedom, who went to the WNBA game, and he now claims that he identifies as a woman, and then he mocks the WNBA players, and he says he wants to be in the WNBA draft because the WNBA draft says you have to identify as a woman, and they want to like gin up this whole ridiculous controversy and make like Cantor Freedom and all these like deranged right-wing, men on Fox, like they want to position themselves as like, we're trying to protect the women in the WNBA. No, just stop this performative BS. It's whiny, it's loser behavior, but state regime media platforms this because they don't have to talk about what the American people are feeling, which is psychologically tortured by this disgusting, despicable, vile Trump regime, which covers up child sex trafficking rings, where Donald Trump focuses on gallivanting with Natalie, hiding from Iran in catering containers while building golden ballrooms, throwing golf tournaments for himself, where he happens to win all the time while the American people suffer. Let me show you what Cantor Freedom had to say. Play this clip.
It's a very clear
Are you a trans woman?
Listen, Section 13, right? Article 13, Section 1 says if you identify as a woman, then you're allowed to play.
So you are identifying as a woman tonight?
I identify as a woman. Sure, yes.
Okay.
So I can play.
But they're never going to let you play.
Why not? I mean, that's the rule. That's the rule that they put, and I'm just following the rules. If they ever come out and say, okay, we are changing the rules, I respect their decision. I will follow the rules. But right now, if you identify as a woman, you're allowed to play. And I am identifying as a woman, and I am actually allowed to play. See?
You said Sophie.
And then you have the Fox host saying, when I just heard Can of Freedom say, when I just heard NSA, it was something that touched my heart. It really did. It made me feel so invigorated. He's standing up for the women. Just stop this performative crap and actually talk about what the American people are focused on. Here, play this clip.
But not to them.
You know how I felt when I saw NS doing that? I was like, that's awesome. I'm like, I love that he's sticking up for us. And then I thought to myself, I just wish the women in the league would. I wish the commish and all the other just stand up for us too, please.
Yeah.
So let me show you the Abdul El Sayed interview now, where Fox got a rude awakening, and I thought Abdul El Sayed did an incredible job, Dr. El Sayed, that is, and he pushed back hard against Jesse Waters, and El Sayed's like, I know you don't want to talk about gas prices. You don't want to talk about groceries. You just want to bring up culture wars. And then Waters like, but what about men and women's sports? What do you think of that? And El Sayed's like, I'm running for the United States Senate, man. You want to talk about that? Let the leagues deal with that. You want to ask me questions about what the American people are talking about? The healthcare crisis, big pharma affordability. Here, let's play this clip.
So the question, again, like Jesse, you have not asked me one time about the issues that people actually care about in Michigan. You don't want to talk about gas prices. You don't want to talk about groceries. You don't want to talk about healthcare. You don't want to talk about the stupid trade war that's about to destroy Michigan's economy.
We spent the whole interview talking about that stuff.
That's destroying, that is destroying our own military. You don't seem to want to talk about any of those things. You want to bring up all this culture war. That, I'm not here to fight a culture war.
We talked about the war. We talked about gas prices and the Green New Deal, okay? If you want to do an interview,
I'll them up every time.
You can do the interview,
you're
okay?
Asking me, you're doing the greatest hits, Jesse. This is, you could play this game if you want, but, you can keep doing the greatest hits if you want. You told me we're going to come on for a conversation, and when we have conversations, I think it's okay to also ask questions. I just want to understand what you're getting at here.
I'm getting at whether you think men should play in women's sports.
Senator in Michigan,
it's a big issue.
I'm interested in getting money out of politics, putting money in your pocket, and passing Medicare for all.
You're filibustering,
most people don't care about what sports kids play. And
you're filibustering.
I'm just
it's a big issue.
Because, I want to talk about the issues
lost on that issue last time.
Deserve to hear about.
All right, so you want to answer that question.
What issue?
You want to answer the question.
What issue? Go ahead, Jesse. What issue?
Should men play women's sports? You have daughters, right?
I think that, look, I played sports my whole life. Sports were an important part of my life. I'm grateful for the opportunity to play sports. And at the end of the day, the decision of who gets to play what sports ought to be decided by the people who govern sports. I'm running for U.S. Senate. Jesse, it's insane. I'm out here trying to take on the healthcare crisis in big pharma, and you're asking me about who gets to play what sports. It's silly. People can't take you seriously.
It's kind of a big thing if you've been following the news recently, Abdul. Let me ask you about the politics. We'll get to your race. Let's do your race right now.
Please be serious. I'm here with you. I want to have a conversation about the issues that matter.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about the things that people are actually talking about.
Okay.
Now let me interrupt for just a moment with some big news. The climate alarm right now is blaring across Europe as extreme heat and massive wildfires tear through parts of France and Spain, forcing hundreds of thousands of people to evacuate. Some fires have become so intense that they're generating so-called fire clouds, which can create their own winds and lightning. This comes after Western Europe experienced its hottest June on record, with an estimated 10,000 excess heat-related deaths during the late June heat wave. Steve Trent, founder and CEO of the Environmental Justice Foundation, writes in a new piece for The Ecologist that the warning signs are now coming from every direction. But, and I want to be clear about this, Trent says that there are solutions. He argues government should phase out fossil fuel subsidies, stop approving new oil, gas, and coal projects, dramatically expand renewable energy, and modernize electrical grids. He also calls for greater investment in disaster preparedness and for protecting forests, wetlands, and oceans that could help reduce the impact of extreme weather. And, well, here's where the United States comes in. At the very moment experts like Trent argue that governments need to lean into renewable energy, the Trump administration is moving in the opposite direction, championing fossil fuels, attacking wind and solar projects, and retreating from international climate efforts. Trent argues that businesses should also stop financing fossil fuel expansion, cut emissions throughout their supply chains, and invest heavily in renewable energy, storage, and efficiency. And he says that this isn't simply about the environment. Renewable energy is increasingly cost competitive, meaning that climate action can also mean new investment, greater energy independence, and stronger economies. That's the latest. Now I want to hear from you. Should politicians be making renewable energy like wind and solar a bigger priority? And what do you think about the Trump administration moving away from clean energy while experts are calling for countries to do precisely the opposite? Let me know right now in the comments. I want to hear from you. Ben, back to you.
More from Abdul El Sayed, who went on the Jesse Waters show. And El Sayed says, yeah, Donald Trump just wants to blame everything on his predecessor. But at this point, isn't it the Trump economy? Of course it is. Play this clip.
Foreign policy.
You want to talk about inflation? I'd be happy to talk about inflation. Jesse, you actually said the word. Because everywhere I go in Michigan, people are talking about the fact that they've never had to worry as much about life being as unaffordable as they say right now. Now, I get it. Donald Trump likes to blame everything on his predecessor. But let's be clear. This is Donald Trump's economy right now. And he's about to make everything so much worse because he's in a vanity war with the Prime Minister of Canada. And look, like, I'm in Michigan and you're from New York, right? So you know Canadians, man. They're the only people I know who apologized before they even did his thing. So now they're raising the tariff to 50%. What's that going to do to inflation?
Yeah. What is spending $4 trillion going to do?
And more from Abdul El Sayed here, who calls out Pete Hegseth, the despicable Hegseth. Here, play this clip.
See, rather than on the side of everyday Michiganders.
No, because I don't want you guys to blow the country up. Do you know how much the federal budget is now?
No, neither do I. Here's exactly
What's the federal budget?
You guys want to, right? Pete Hegseth, who used to work for your
question.
your
Do you know what the federal budget is?
Wanted to raise. No. I just want to talk about this. Look, you want to talk about budgets? I'm happy to do that. The guy who used to work on your channel, I think he was like the 6th host on the 5, he wanted to raise our military budget to $1.5 trillion, and you don't seem to be upset about that. What, so we could fight a war we don't know how to get out of, to raise our gas prices $5 a gallon? That doesn't make sense to me, Jesse. We want to talk.
So I wanted to show you that so you can see what a real conversation looks like. And then state regime media throughout the rest of the day would have on guests like this. You know, the WNBA has been struggling with defining women. What are you talking about? There's never been a transgender WNBA player like in the history of the WNBA. I don't know what issue you're trying to do. I know what you're trying to do. I mean, you're just trying to just bully the transgender community just because. I mean, these are humans. These are people. You know, we should be empathetic. We should be loving to each other. What is the point of this? Other than to divide the American people along, to create these lines and just be bullying. Here, play this clip.
What's your response?
My response is that the WNBA has been struggling with defining a woman, and it really is only a matter of time. And actually, in the past, there was a woman, I'm forgetting, a trans woman who was in the WNBA. I think his name was Lachey. I cannot remember exactly, but it is an issue if you can't define what a woman is for the WNBA. And it also is reflective of the times that we're in.
More from Enes Kanter Freedom right here. And he was like, he was saying this WNBA player, he was at the stadium and he was like mocking the WNBA players. And then one of the WNBA players yelled back at him like, dude, what do you get out of here? Like, what the hell are you, like, leave us alone. Let us play. What are you doing? And then he was like, she yelled at me and she said that Sophie Cunningham's not going to sleep with me. And then Laura Ingram's like, well, do you want to sleep with her? I don't want to sleep with her. Okay, what the hell? This is what they were doing the whole damn day on state regime media. Play this clip.
Literally the next position, she came back and she started yelling at me and said, she's not going to sleep with you.
Wait, who's not going to sleep with you?
Sophia Cunningham is not going to sleep with you.
I don't even understand. Are you trying to?
I'm not
sleep
trying
with Sophie
to. No,
Cunningham?
definitely not. I want to make this very clear. Definitely not.
And then they bring in Usha Vance. And Usha Vance is like, I never met JD's mama and papa, but I love the children that they raised. I never met his papa and his mama. Okay, this papa mama stuff is getting freaking weird, man. What are we talking about here? I get he calls his grandparent mama and papa. The guy's a vice president. What, guys, everybody. We're in a catastrophic and unlawful war with Iran. The Strait of Hormuz is closed. Iran struck another tanker last night. In the Bab el-Mandab Strait, the Red Sea, the Houthis struck a Saudi Arabian tanker yesterday morning. You have Treasury Secretary Bessent declaring economic D-Day against anyone who does business with Iran, and then all of the countries laughed in our Treasury Secretary's face and don't take his words seriously because he and the Trump regime have proven to be absolute clowns. We have him also wanting to tap into the Treasury's general account to do further bond buyback bailouts and manipulate the market. You have all of this going down, and Mama, Papa. Here, play this clip.
Yes, I never met JD's mama and papa, but I do know and love the children that they raised. You know, his mom, his aunt and uncle, and they have never been anything but incredibly loving. I mean, his aunt is like a second mother.
And then you have Tim Scott, the MAGA Republican senator from South Carolina. He comes in and he's on the Hannity show. He's like, Sean, these Democrats are stealing our culture, Sean. Me and you, Sean, our culture. These Democrats are coming in and they're trying to take our culture, Sean. Okay, here, play this clip.
These radicals don't just want new policies. They want to change the very DNA of what it means to be an American. They're coming after our culture, Sean, and that is what makes them dangerous.
And then, of course, you got to end the night on regime media, bringing in Kelsey Grammer to attack Social Security. That's what I was like thinking to myself. I'm like, okay, well, what do I need right now? I need Kelsey Grammer attacking Social Security. Boom, wonderful. Regime media, thank you, is what I wanted. Here, I'll play this clip.
There's 62,000 Social Security Administration employees. Why? Why would we just allow people to invest 12% of their income themselves and retire on it? They'd all be millionaires.
Well, how about Trump gets 300,000 people to leave the federal workforce? Has anyone noticed any changes? I mean, that's just 300,000. It's the lowest number of federal workers since the early 60s, Kelsey. And as far as I can tell, everything's to be going as it always has.
As I said, so utterly freaking deranged. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you so much.
Breaking news right now. My brothers and I wrote a book. It's called WTF America. And well, doesn't that just say it all? It comes out officially this October, but you can pre-order your copy today. Just scan the QR code or click the link in the description below.